Hello, would-be game developers. My name's Nice PainEX, and today's going to be a little bit of a different video. Instead of it being a tutorial, this is going to be mostly focused on terminology. First, I guess, what is RPG Maker? Well, it's a system that allows you to make your own games. It takes inspiration from JRPGs, so think Final Fantasy or Pokemon. The idea is that you use your system to tell your own story, usually using the mechanics built into the game. However, RPG Maker can't just do anything. There are a lot of aspects popular in games that aren't included in RPG Maker. I will show you, for example, taunting. Taunting doesn't exist in the base RPG Maker system, so I have a plugin to allow me to do that. And luckily, just about any concept can be achieved using the things known as plugins. So, what is a plugin? If you're watching this video, you're almost definitely going to be a gamer, and almost every popular game has DLCs or downloadable content. Think of a plugin as a DLC. It adds content to the game that isn't available in vanilla RPG Maker. For example, my last video showed row formations, which allowed you to add multiple rows into RPG Maker, allowing you to have a bit more customization in your game. You can add or remove plugins simply by coming up here to these two little puzzle pieces. This is known as the plugin manager. You click on that and you come down here, and any of your plugins that are in your plugin folder are available in here, and you simply click on one. I've already got Taunt installed, but we'll do it anyway. You click on it, and boom, you can see Taunt down there. Now, that's all I want to get into for plugins right now. The next thing I want to talk about is note tags. So if you come down to, just about anything, you'll see notes down here. Now, so for an actor, my actor has initial bonus AP 10. Now, AP is from another plugin. It's called Allocation Points. Don't worry about that right now, but you'll see all sorts of the different things down here that I've added in. This is because, although plugins add in extra content, they don't actually show anything on the database. Some plugins have parameters, and I will show you those. So we'll come down to attach augments. So these are parameters, and sometimes you can alter things in here. So for example, weapon slots have got Magicka in my game. Armor slots also have Magicka in my game, and that effectively is my version of Materia from Final Fantasy VII. For some plugins, you need to put certain keywords or phrases into the note box to tell RPG what it is that you're trying to do. So, for example, Ram's a dual wield. If I wanted a weapon to be two-handed, then I would copy and paste this, and I would come to my weapon, and let's say we want an axe to be able to be dual wielded. Boom, axes are now not dual wielded, two-handed. Axes are now two-handed, which means they require two hands to wield. You couldn't have a weapon in the other hand. Pretty simple. And yeah, so most plugins are like that. Most plugins tell you exactly what they do in their description and how to use them. Now, when I mention things like Ramza, Yanfly, some random dev, I'm talking about the people who made the plugins. I'll try to be clear on that in the future videos. Don't think you need to learn some sort of mechanic called Yanfly or Ramza or anything. That they're not mechanics. They are people who have made these, and you can always see when you click on a plugin, they normally have their kind of tag right there. Yep is Yanfly. Ramza just writes Ramza. Some random dev writes SRD. So next I'll talk about the database. Now that's this little gear up here, and when you click on it, this is where you control more or less all the mechanics in your game. It controls the characters that are available to play as, your classes. So you can see I've got Assassin, Brawler, Cleric, Expert, Mage, Necromancer, Psychic, Scientist, and Warrior. You can add or subtract these just by change maximum. I've got 11. We'll say 55. And boom, now all of these are available. You could make that many classes. Now I don't want 55 classes, so I'm going to just quickly change that back. And boom, all fixed. Yeah, so you can change your skills as well. Skills are spells for mages and kind of actions for martial characters. You can change items, what do items do? So the base RPG Maker has a few listed: potions, magic water, dispel herb. But yeah, you can add in extra things. Like I've created a chainsaw, and that will be kind of like if you've played the old school Pokemon games, HM Cut. I've got a chainsaw to do that. And yeah, so then you've got weapons, obviously, armors, which I haven't tutored with at all yet, but I understand it's not very difficult. Enemies, so you can change parameters, and you'll see down here I've got a note, default row 1, which means my bat is always in the first row. Once again, watch my last video if you want to know more about rows. Troops, so although enemies is where you create the enemy, troops is where you turn around and you go, alright, well, I want to add in a Minotaur, and I add him. Cool. I'll also have an orc. I'll have 2 orcs in there, eh? Is that? Oh, maybe not. Orcs are pretty big. Alright, let's have the Minotaur back here and an orc there. And actually, you know what? An orc here, and we will add in another orc. There you go. You got a Minotaur and 2 orcs, and now that is a battle that can happen within your game. States. So these are status conditions and stuff like that. Animations. So for the most part, these are things that you'll just normally not change too much, I don't think. Although you can, you've got all these available to you, so you definitely could change some things around. Tile sets. So this is, I'll explain tiles in a second. For the time being, these are the items that you use for your world. Like here's a rock, up here's some water. Yeah. This is how you create your environment effectively. Common events. These are events that you. Well, I mean, I guess it says in the name they commonly happen. So you don't need to create an event each time. Just by clicking on this common event, it will always happen. System. So this is where you alter some other things. You could make it so you start transparent. You can turn on and off side view battle. So if you turn that off, your characters won't be on the side of the screen. The idea will be that you're sort of imagining them in front of you instead. But they won't have a sprite in combat. Experience for reserve members. Now I've got that off because I want it to be, if you want to train up a character, they have to be in your party. Knockout by floor damage. I actually want that on. I think floor damage should kill you. Knockout by slip damage. We'll leave that as it is for now. Yeah, so then you've got, in your title, what music you want to play, and battle, what the default music you want to play is. You come down here, and these are to types, and this is where you create all of the variable objects that you might have in your game. So, weapons, armors, shields for equipment, armors, what types of armors there are, what types of weapons there are, what type of skills there are. So I've got action, spell, and movement. Elements, so you could create however many elements you want. You might want to add a magma or bubbles or plastic, whatever you want. You can add in more or less as many of these as you want. Terms, so this is where you alter how things will come up on your screen. So, for example, I've changed attack to strength, defense to durability, magic attack to intelligence, magic defense to charisma, and I did not alter agility or luck. Or I did alter hit rate to accuracy. Yeah, so yeah, you can alter how things come out like that. Yeah, so let's move on to actually creating your world. So if you go to map, you can create things. So you click on up here, you'll see the screen here. So let's say we want this little pool of water. We want just a little pool of water. Cool. So now you have a pool of water. It's literally that simple for tile sets. It takes a while to get used to what looks good and what doesn't. I mean, look at this village. It doesn't look very good, in my opinion. So I'm gonna redo it. It wasn't bad for a first attempt, but I think I could do better. So I will do better. And then events. So you come up to this little, I guess, pin with a pen and paper. I don't know what the hell that's meant to be. So there's two ways to do this. You can create quick events, which you can make transfer, door, treasure, or inn. So transfer would transfer you to somewhere. A door takes you to inside a building, or I guess outside of a building. But it also creates an actual door. So if we click on it, you'll see that comes up, and boom, we now have a door, which you obviously would not put there. Now, by deleting it, you just click it, and then click on the delete on your screen. Then treasure, so quick way to add in, I want my players to get 9,999 gold. I want my players to get a potion, or a sword, or an armor, whatever it is you want. I'll finish that actually. We'll just call it. We'll just say it's gold, and you get 10 gold. There you go. Boom. Appears on the screen. And then an inn. So an inn would create an innkeeper, and you just set the price, and the game deals with it. Without you needing to command it to. It'll just, you go up to the innkeeper, and they will ask you if you want to stay the night. You say yes, and it'll fully heal you, just like in most RPGs. Yeah, but anything else you can do is also an event. So if I create a new event, this can get a little bit complicated. You've got switches and variables. Chuck a comment in the comment section if you want me to explain how to create more in-depth events. For the time being, events are more or less anything that happens in your game. So the tile sets are where, and the events are what, is the way I would explain it. Yeah, so that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.